I'm Dr. Clair. This is my wife, Clara. She has her master's degree in biblical counseling.
We live in Dryden, Ontario, Canada, about 200 miles east of Winnipeg on the Trans-Canada Highway.
In the next 5 to 6 minutes, we will share with you our experiences in the 3-week day program in Meier Clinic, Bothell, Washington. Clara and I met in 1958 when we both felt called to teach in a First Nations elementary school in Northern Canada. After teaching together for 2 months, I liked her.
And I liked him. A year and a half later, we got married and have been doing youth and family work in Ontario among the First Nations people and also across the Canadian Arctic for 56 years.
Being a pilot and having an own mission airplane, I could fly ourselves around for training many people. 10 years after marriage, we had 4 daughters and were extremely busy in helping others. However, we were experiencing some anxiety issues, various levels of depression, so we attended a 3-week course at Narramore Counseling Center in Rosemead, California. For the first time, we began to get some help with our own issues. Right, Clara?
Well, you did. But I did not see my own need. To some degree, I saw a little bit of it at that time, and we got help for our marriage, our family, and our ministry.
20 years later, we earned our master's degrees under the Institute of Biblical Counseling by Larry Crabb and Dan Allender. That was helpful to us individually and for our family and ministry.
By this time, we had 5 grown daughters, and we began teaching and training counselors.
However, I was struggling with real insomnia problem.
And I was still reserved and suffered a low grade of depression, but I felt I was okay. That's just me.
But I knew I wasn't okay. I knew that I needed a break from ministry to take a 3-week day clinic at Meier. I still had too much anxiety, anger, and significant relational problems and a real case of insomnia. As God's servant, I needed more help. I humbled myself and decided again to go for more help.
I was okay, but I wanted to go along with Claire because he needed help.
I appreciated that she wanted to go along and participate at least in the Saturday morning family members part, where family members are invited to be part of the program. For me, the morning and afternoon 1-hour lectures, followed by 2.5 hours of supervised group work, morning and afternoon, opened a lot of issues for me. I felt loved, cared for, but confronted and challenged. At times, it took a while for me to face the reality of what I was being faced with in my relational styles. To be the client was quite a change, and in some ways humiliating, but extremely valuable, and it tasted good to my soul. I began to sleep better too.
But the second week, I opened my heart for some personal counseling sessions. I was challenged about my reservedness, about my cautiousness, and was challenged to look at what hindered my spontaneous self from surfacing.
Things began to change. People could notice a significant improvement in our individual lives, in our relational styles with each other, our 5 daughters, and others in general.
It soon became evident that we started in a different way of living and that it needed to continue. About 1 year later, we returned for a second round. Amazingly, for most of that 3 weeks, there were no other clients. So I sat in on the lectures and the group work, which was Claire and me. It was life-changing.
It was like we were reborn. I spoke less, Clara spoke more. Eventually, that felt right. We were more open and intimate with each other.
Our relational styles really changed.
For the last 3 days, we invited our 5 married daughters to come to be part of the program. We had good facilitators, so the girls felt safe to share their deepest joys and their deepest pain of growing up with us, their parents. At the time, it was hard, but very good.
I was amazed when one of our daughters shared how she experienced me, her mother, as a fragile teacup. This hindered her sharing her problems with me as a growing teenager. When I heard her say that, It made me sad for the loss of my little girl, but also thankful for the increased trust and openness happening for her and for me.
6 months later, I went back alone for a personal recap and evaluation. Clara and I and our 5 daughters owe a lot to the Meier Clinic program and staff for the help we received. All this enriched our ministry to others.
Their emphasis on regular physical exercise and regular meditation on Scripture was also challenging and helpful. Many church workers and missionaries leave those 2 items undone.
God created us spirit, soul, and body. As redeemed men and women, all 3 aspects need attention. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. God bless.
For more information about Catalyst or for a personal assessment to determine if the program is a good fit for you or a loved one, please call us at 1-888-7-CLINIC or visit us at meierclinics.org.